Warm leatherette melts on your burning flesh. You can see your reflection in the luminescent dash.
You're in the gray zone. This is listener-supported true crime podcasting. I'm Mark Ebner. I'm a New York Times best-selling author, an award-winning journalist, and I'm a private investigator and a husband. I've got Dr. Dave with me. He's producing the hell out of this fucker, and we're on a new platform. It's called Libsyn. Tell me about that, Doctor.
It's just similar to Spreaker, but much better reach. So.
Yeah, don't even say similar to Spreaker. I don't ever want to hear the word Spreaker again. But Libsyn, right? It's pumping these shows out on iTunes and something else.
All over the place, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Well, we'll see how that works out. And what does Libsyn mean? Liberated syndication or something like that?
That is exactly it, yeah.
Fancy that. All right. So, this is Season 3, Episode 3, and oh, boy, I've run into a weird case. Check out this guy's bio. Skip Chasey, a.k.a. Master Skip, heads a family of spiritually grounded leather folk in the City of Angels, where he is a practicing spiritual director and certified grief recovery counselor, and also earns a living as a missionary among the savages of Hollywood. As an out and proud leather man, Master Skip addressed a crowd of nearly 1 million people at the Millennium March on Washington. And since then, he has given 10 keynote addresses and presented over 200 programs on the spiritual dynamics of S&M and dominant sub relationships at noteworthy leather events throughout the U.S. and Canada. From 2001 to 2007, Master Skip was a core instructor for the Butchman's Experience, a periodic weekend retreat that offers opportunities for profound personal growth to leathermen and women of all sexual orientations and identities. He is a co-founder of People of Leather Among You, acronym PLAY, a social and educational group for Southern California men and women interested in the integration of spirituality and leather fetish sexuality. And for 6 years, he was co-producer of Southwest Leather Conference, quote, the Leather Family Gathering of Heart and Spirit. Master Skip presently serves on the theologies team for Metropolitan Community Churches and on the board of directors for Butchman's Incorporated, a nonprofit educational organization dedicated to self-actualization through the mindful use of physical practices and the conscious exchange of personal power for spiritual awareness. Master Skip and his pup, Tim, are the subjects of the award-winning documentary film Pup and have been profiled in Nerve.com magazine and Power Exchange magazine. He and his slave, Rick, are two of the subjects of Ask the Man Who Owns Him, a book about gay male master-slave relationships that received the NLA's 2010 Nonfiction Literary Award. He is a past recipient of the Lee Montague Memorial Award for Outstanding Community Service from Avatar Club Los Angeles, was named Best Trainer at the 2002 International Puppy Contest, received the 2005 Pantheon of Leather Community Choice Award, and he was honored with the Master Heart Award at the 2008 Master Slave Conference.
Is he next in line to take over the Tonight Show as well?
Yeah, I mean, that's quite a bio there, but in his own words, quote, blood may be thicker than water, but leather is thicker than blood. Quite the bio, right?
I learned so much
And
working on this show.
that's not even the guy's day job. Okay? It's not even his day job, all that. So let's take a lookie at what Master Skip does by day. Skip Chasey, well, he's former executive vice president at Imagine Television. Ring a bell, Doctor?
It's Ron
Howard's company. Well, he left there, and I don't know if it's a lateral move or he moved upwards, but he joined William Morris's, that would be William Morris Endeavors, Television Business Affairs Department, I guess in something like 2010. Now, and we're talking about as a senior VP of business development there. So the guy's a muckety-muck. The guy's high up. He's a super powerful player in Hollywood. Chasey had been with Imagine for 15 years and played a pivotal role in growing Imagine's television arm and oversaw negotiations for series like 24, Arrested Development, and Parenthood. He also shares a William Morris connection, having helped structure the deals of William Morris Endeavor clients Aaron Sorkin and Pete Berg for shows Imagine was involved with. Impressive, right?
Very.
Well, as many of you know, I spend an inordinate amount of time checking out atrocity websites and court filings, and always most intriguing for me are the Los Angeles County coroner files. Talk about where the bodies are buried. You might as well go right to the source. And look what I found. A male, Duncan George Allen Gilbert, of about 48 years, came to his death on the 19th day of November 2017 at a private residence on Holly Knoll Drive in Los Angeles. Now, I looked at the zip code on Holly Knoll. That's 90027. That's my old hood. That's Los Feliz. I'm surprised I never ran into Master Skip when I was running out to House of Pies. Well, you know, honestly, maybe I did, and I didn't know it.
Just not in his leather gear, presumably.
You never know. Now, this guy, Duncan George Allen Gilbert, he went by the name Duncan Doran, Doran. His cause of death is listed as sudden death during recreational mummification bondage. Then, interestingly enough, it says, here in the coroner's report, right here, it says, cause undetermined after autopsy and toxicology. Mode undetermined. Well, so saith Deputy Coroner Erica Guzman. So back to the scene of the death, Holly Knoll Drive. That is the home/dungeon of none other than proud master, Hollywood executive, Skip Chasey. Journalism 101. Look closer. The autopsy report reveals some interesting, unexplained clues. So, I turned to my pal, forensic expert, Jackson State University distinguished professor, Joseph Scott Morgan. I mean, for pedigree, it's important to know. I turned to Joseph Scott Morgan because he knows this shit. How does he know it? Well,
early in my career, I kind of peripherally consulted on a case in New Orleans that came off the wharfs, and there was a guy that that was found in one of the warehouses, like an old coffee or banana warehouse, because New Orleans is a major point of entry from Latin America for all that kind of stuff, coffee, bananas, all that sort of stuff.
Sure.
Well, he's in like this vacant area in here, and he's wrapped in a Persian rug. He's wearing a scuba suit. He's got a snorkel sticking out the top, and he had, had come out of kind of the alternative lifestyle thing out of the quarter back in the day before it was, before these people came creeping out of the shadows with a lot of the shit that they were into.
Sure.
When we finally got this guy on the table, he had 2 Jack Nicklaus number 2 Golden Bear golf balls shoved up his ass. And this was pure pleasure, a pleasure pursuit on his part.
Right.
And his partner freaked out and just left him there in the carpet. And he didn't, it's not like he was didn't want to be in the carpet. He wanted to be constricted within that carpet.
Right.
So it's kind of a super bizarre kind of world when you enter into it. The fact that this guy has cashed in his chips is no surprise.
I'm never going to be able to walk by a Persian rug outlet again without kind of giving it a second glance there, wondering what's rolled up in that embroidered carpet.
I'm going to feel similarly about golf courses. I got to say, from the setup, I really was not expecting the snorkel to be in his mouth.
Well, good Lord. Well, nonetheless, Joseph Scott Morgan brings the goods, the credentials, and the pedigree to discuss a crime of this nature, if it is indeed a crime. But let's go back to the cause of death here. Sudden death during recreational bondage. I mean, literally, that's what the coroner wrote. And that begs the question, what exactly is sudden about suffocating to death? Is it a matter of semantics here? I mean, the exact moment of death is by definition sudden. Lights out. You're done, right? But in this case, to me, it seems an awful way to go. I mean, I'm the guy who has dreams about like falling through ice and shit, and I can't get out, and I'm like, I'm under and I'm suffocating. I constantly have these suffocating dreams. I got to say, there's nothing erotic about it. It's fucking frightening, is what it is. But hey. One man's nightmare is another man's fetish, I guess.
Everybody got their something.
Yeah. So as I dig deeper into this report, it seems the decedent, Duncan Doran, had a little help from Bill Cosby's little helper, gamma hydroxybutyate, or
GHB.
GHB, that's right, otherwise known as the knockout drug, or roofies. Let's see what Joseph Scott Morgan has to say about that clip too, Dr. Dave.
He's got GHB on board, and just for the sake of talking about it, look, his lungs weighed in the 900 gram region, and just to put that in kind of normal, and this guy's diminutive too. I was checking out.
Oh yeah.
He only weighed like 120 pounds.
Yeah, 5'6" maximum, yeah.
Yeah, very tiny. Imagine kind of waifish looking, very thin, I'm sure. He's kind of rendered down here anyway in the state. You load him up with GHB, which for the purposes of our conversation relative to kind of the toxicological effects, you look at it in the same family as like how heroin would affect somebody, or fentanyl. Mm-hmm. This guy's lungs weighed, I think, if I'm remembering correctly, I think one was like, I don't know, like 920 grams or something like that.